everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games. Yeah.
And welcome to our preview of Fractured Sky, sponsored by IV Studio.
Now, family, we're playing with a prototype, a very nice looking prototype, but just want to let you know that this Kickstarter will start on April 11th. Now, as we always say about all of our previews, don't take a word for it. Check it out for yourself, your family, game group, but just check it out. And now here's a game overview from Starla and Grant.
Fractured Sky is a game of deduction, sneaky strategy, and resource management set on a fantastical island. Players lead their kingdom in the hunt for shards of fractured falling stars, which are rumored to grant wishes to those who can amass enough of them.
Utilizing your airship fleet, players send their armies to regions with the star shards, but finding those is not easy, and hiring seers to predict their falls can be worth the investment. Over time, players will increase their presence on the island, placing permanent buildings to give them advantages like extra resources or increasing the size of their troop numbers. Only one wish will be granted, so who will amass the most shards before the final star falls?
What will you wish for? Fractured Sky.
Yes, very interesting game.
Yes,
very
got this
interesting.
crazy theme where you've got these flying airships and it's this island with these different kingdoms on it, and I mean you're trying to find star particles that have broken away.
Yeah, because the star fell into the sea and started messing up stuff, and then this mystical octopus. A mystical octopus is telling you, hey, you get enough star fragments, I'll give you a wish.
Give you a wish.
You're gonna get a wish.
Yes.
You find these fragments, and I will give you what your heart's desire.
So now you gotta find out where they are.
I like that.
So you gotta fly around
and
to different locations.
And then you gotta fight your opponents to try to win these islands, parts of these kingdoms where you think a starfall, I guess a starfall is, and just beat them out so you can get it.
Yes, the fragments are called starfalls.
Yes.
And you're looking for starfalls.
Yes.
These little things here.
But what's the cool thing about is that, it's a very colorful game.
Colorful board.
Yes.
Colorful game.
Yes, it's a colorful game.
Now, they went all out with the art.
They went all, now, family, I just want to let you know, this is a deluxe copy of the game. We got a prototype, but it's kind of close because it's very, very beautiful.
Yes.
Now, the retail's going to be different, but we're going to concentrate on this beautiful deluxe Kickstarter copy.
Yeah, I mean, everything's colorful.
Yes.
Every person has a different color. Like you got your red, which is I'm holding right here.
It's 5.
Yeah. And then you got a purple, and you've got green and yellow. So everybody has a color. So when you fill this board up with your different players, it's going to be something to look at. It's going to have some table presence.
Because the minis alone are so nice. This is your airship, your troop ship that you're taking your troops over and doing some things with, and then just all here's the, this is the fortress, really cool fortress that you put out, and then the markets.
You have markets, so you
have little markets. Yeah, you gotta have resources.
Yes. So you put
gotta
your
have
markets out
resources
on the board, and
yes.
they'll connect to different biomes, so you can get different types of resources.
Yes.
And then when you put out fortresses, you're gonna have extra troops, to
yes.
kind of help you with your airship. So each one of these little things has a different
purpose.
Purpose that it does.
Now, let me tell you, the cards.
Yes.
Now you have different cards. You have cards that show you where the starfalls are.
Yes.
That's secret. And then you have a public, cards that tell you where one of those, starfalls is during the game. But let me tell you, here's the cards. They're what do you call holographic
so they
cards?
Change when
It changes when you look at them. It changes.
Yeah.
Now that's classic. There,
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's classic.
IV,
That's
they don't cut corners when it
No,
comes
they do
to
not.
stuff. They go
no,
all
they do
out.
not.
They go
It
all
is
out.
it is all out. And just here's some of the bonuses because you get bonuses each round, and even the bonus card's colorful, beautiful, and it's just a beautiful game.
And when you take your airship out, you have to have different, a number of troops, and so you
Up
have
to
these
10.
up to 10.
Up to
So
10.
you've got these different numbers. And so how you can do that, you do it secretly, so your opponents don't know how many troops you're putting out.
Look at this, family.
So
Look
then
at this,
you
family.
just it's magnetized.
It's gonna be underneath your
Yes.
player board there.
Yes, magnetized. And so when you put it down, nobody's gonna know.
Nobody knows.
until you reveal the number.
Now there's two numbers that you kind of know because they have the white lining outside, and that's
Yes.
the 1 and the 10.
Yes.
So you when you see this white lining around one of them, you're kind of like, oh, do they have a 1
Yeah.
or do they have a 10? Because if they went 10, because you put down 3 airships around. So if you put down that 10, the other 2 have to be zeros because you got
And
zeros.
there are some zeros in there.
Yes, but if you
your
put the-
opponents don't know that.
Your opponents don't know.
They don't know
Everything's secret until you flip
Until you
everything
reveal.
over and then you go to battle.
Yes. So when you go to battle, you're gonna have your little ship on the board, and then it's time for battle. You're gonna reveal what your number is, and then your opponent's gonna be like, "Oh,
Oh!
I don't have enough.
I don't have enough.
or I
And then-
have enough to win."
and then it's a kind of hierarchy of what you get. You get, you get the starfall if you win.
If you win the
battle, and then you get resources. You get 2 resources. The second place and the third place get 1 resource, and it goes from there. But you're always getting resources, and you have to really get those resources
Yes.
to really win this
Well,
game.
you need resources in order to put out your markets and put out your fortresses.
And also
your little-
spy, kind of get a little sneak peek of objectives, and also sneak peeks of where the hidden starfall is in those cards that are hidden.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you some help, like, okay, I know. Because each time when you put your first airship down into one of these little circles here, you can get a card that tells you where the starfall is not.
Yes.
And that kind of helps you with information. It's all about information in this game. So it's kind of like a war game with spies. You got to find out what's going on. You got
gotta
information.
deduce where things
you got
are, yeah.
a little deduction in there. So it got a little deduction in there. You got to find out what's going on, and you can't tell your opponent.
And you
Don't
got
say
your
nothing.
different resources. You got gold, you've got ore, and then you also have wood.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
those are the ones you're going to use in order to put
I
out
think that's
markets.
iron, baby.
Is iron?
It's iron.
Iron.
It's
Okay.
iron. You got iron because you got to put together ships and stuff with your
Yeah,
iron.
yeah,
Yeah.
so-
But it's a really interesting game, and I tell you, the minis are really beautiful.
Yes. So yeah, you definitely want to look at the minis.
Yes.
But when we play
Because this is like the little like a little
schooner?
schooner
Yeah,
that you get
little
that
schooner,
add combat points for you.
But
Yes.
yeah, when we were playing the game, you
Yes.
know, first of all, you got to figure out. I love to play with green.
Yes.
So I had my green, which was.
I had
great.
my yellow.
And you had your yellow.
I had my yellow.
Yeah. So we got a chance to pick the colors that we liked.
Yes.
And each ship is different.
Yes.
So every opponent has.
It
a
is so
different-
cool.
Yeah, they have a different style to their ship.
Now I'm gonna tell you, yours look a little modern than mine.
Yeah, you
Your
look like a
green,
pirate ship.
mine was a pirate ship,
Yes.
but yours look kind of
Mine-
futuristic.
Yeah, really futuristic.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. I think this is what pink.
Kind of a pinkish
Kind of
color,
pinkish.
yeah, 'cause there's
That's pretty
purple.
cool.
That
That's
is
pretty
cool,
cool. That's
yeah.
almost like looking like a like a bird of prey.
Yeah, and this one's for kind of modern, kind of.
Yeah, that's a
spaceship.
modern like a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red got a little nice little. So
But one thing about when we played the game, you
Yes.
want to make sure you get to locations before your opponents.
Yes.
Because the first one to that particular location gets a card so that they can kind of have some more information on how to find these starfalls.
now the tip was they have in the book in the rule book that the tip was to get your markets out there first, because
That's
if you
true.
have a market out there alone, if you win or if you lose, you get some resources. But with a market connected to that island or just that kingdom, you get an extra resource.
that's
now
important.
on some of these, you can get, if you put down your market in these other little areas, you can hook up to all four islands.
Yeah.
Or like 2 or 3 or something like that, but you get extra resources that you need in order to do things, to build your markets, build fortresses, and also build the schooners.
Now, when we were playing the game, I didn't want to put a market in some areas because I thought that on your turn, you try to get your ship there and get that card before me. And then I made the mistake of putting out all 3 of my ships before I got a chance to put
Yeah.
out my markets and my fortresses. And I'm like, oh
And
my
I
God.
told you-
And you told me, you already put your third
You already
ship
put your
out. so
third
that's
ship,
it.
you gotta stop. You put your
And I'm
third
like, wait a
ship.
minute, I want to put out a fortress. But I was trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to get the places I wanted to be before you got there so I could get the extra bonus.
And see, what I was trying to do is just try to get all my kind of, optional stuff out. Before I start putting out my warships out, my airships,
Yeah.
with my troops, I wanted to make sure, like if I have to sneak and see where a starfall is, kind of sneak and see what's going on, and then also put out some markets. I want to do that first. That was my strategy, to
Yeah.
put that stuff out first, then come along and start putting out some things. You know, so that's what putting out the airship. So that's what my strategy was.
Well, in the end, we ended up with a tie game.
Yes, we did.
But because you went first,
I won.
You won. But we ended up tying. I mean, we really went to battle. It was
It's hand-to-hand battle. But then sometimes, you got, like that one time I had information of where Starfall was, and you didn't look it up. So I was like, let me put that in my little airship right there where Starla don't know where it's at, but I know where it's at, and I was able to get a Starfall for free because you weren't there.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
you weren't there. So
and that's kind of how the gameplay goes.
Yes.
You got to play your own game,
Yes,
but you also
do.
got to keep your eye on the opponent.
You got to keep your
see
eye
where they're going.
You got to keep an eye.
Because a lot of times he would go to a location and I would go there too, because I'm like, if he thinks it's there, I may need to be there so I can get whatever he's getting. So.
Yeah, and also when you do spy, where Starfall is, you get a chance to get one of the resources that's on there. And then that kind of gives you a clue too. Like, I was kind of scared. So I don't want to let them know that, the kingdom I'm going to might have just two irons or two woods. I'm like, oh, am I going to get something? Let me go get something. And you kind of look. So you really have to figure out your strategy and try to bluff. There's a lot of bluffing you can do too.
Well, there's major bluffing when it comes to your airships.
Yes.
Because you don't know what that number is.
You do not know.
That I have underneath my ship.
And it's always scary. It's always scary. Because you're like, am I going to lose this? Because what she got out there?
Yeah.
Because you got to add up your score. You add up those, your troop levels to 10.
Yeah,
but if you go
10.
over, if you go to 12,
Yeah.
the 2 points that you go over, they're going to subtract those 2 points from each one of your 3 ships.
Yeah, but
So
we
that's like,
didn't go over. We were really,
Yeah.
In sync with
I
staying
stayed
with 10.
I stayed with 10.
And I used my zeros a
Yes.
lot when I wanted to take over something. I want to put 10 out there.
Yes.
So you will use the zeros.
Yes, so this is a real interesting game. So I'm looking forward to coming on Kickstarter on April 11th, family.
Yeah.
So take a look at it and see if you like it or not. But it's a very interesting game.
It
I
is
can't wait to see the final product.
Yes.
Definitely. So that's it.
That's it for our preview of Fractured Sky.
Yes, because I want somebody to make a wish for me so I can get something. So I gotta find that octopus somewhere so I can get a wish made. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Hey, so Starla, we're trying to get 30,000 subscribers for our channel. So where can folk find OFPG?
Well, if you're looking for Our Family Plays Games,
Yes.
you can find us on Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram,
Yes.
Twitter,
Yes.
and right here on YouTube.
Right here. Now, family, thank you so much for coming out and checking out our preview of Fractured Sky. If you have any questions or comments, definitely put it down below. But there's one thing, family, and I mean one thing we want you to always know. We love you.
Bye
now.
everybody.